format. So you can access to the documentation using the QR code here. We are pleased to be accredited by the COFRAC every year since 2016 for the part of development of analysis pipeline dedicated to diagnosis. Concerning next one. Concerning the staff habilitation, it was a requirement issued during the annual audit in 2017. It consists in perform a series of exercises under the supervision of an habilitated bioinformatician called tutor. The exercises are organized in 4 sessions. The first, the tutor with the developer designed by D here. And then the developer make the exercises alone twice. And we finished with the exercises with the tutor and the developer. It consists in a series of exercises organized in 2 parts, the nominal and the hotfix or bug in production case. And the list of exercises differs according to the evaluated user role and permissions, developer or maintainer in GitLab. This habilitation and our system are built around our BioGit flow procedure, which is a detailed development workflow guidelines, which describe step-by-step command lines and actions that the developers have to follow with the tool Git and GitLab. It basically consisting in 4 general steps: the software development, the acceptance testing, the installation and testing, and the last one, production in deployment. This workflow is based on GitFlow, a well-established workflow in the software engineering community and managed by user role and permissions. There are 2 use cases with dedicated protocols: the nominal mode for the development of a new feature, and the hotfix mode dedicated to the bug corrections occurred in production. For the nominal mode, for example, the different actions are illustrated for each step of the procedure. We can see the different possible actions depending on the user role, the branches, and the environments. In the first step, the developer is able to create branches from the devel, to merge the feature on the devel and push on it. And also he can deploy on his local environment or in dev environment. In the step 2, only the maintainer has the rights in GitLab to make operational testing in a dev environment and to push on devel branches the changelog modified. The steps 3, the check of installation process and new testing. It's also the maintainer which have the valid and production rights, can merge the devel on the release and push on it, and deploy the release on valid environment, or create the operation testing in the same environment. For the last step, the production deployment, it's the same user with the same permission, the maintainer with valid and production rights. He had the rights to deploy in a production environment and make the operation testing in the same environment, and also to merge the release on the master branch and to push on it. Thank you.
Okay, so with BioGit Flow, to define the overall development workflow, other issue needs to be solved during the development of bioinformatic pipelines when we look at a lower level. So in the case of pipeline for high-throughput sequencing data to support precision medicine and routine diagnostic, they often share a common characteristic, which is the complexity as illustrated here. So we have many different steps, which can be most of the time parallelized, and generally they're not written in the same coding language, which can be a bottleneck during the deployment of the pipeline. So since therapeutic decisions have to deliver precise and robust results, the technology to develop a bioinformatic pipeline needs to fulfill several expectations in a production environment. It should ensure the reproducibility, the scalability, like a computing cluster to parallelize the tasks, the portability by using containerization techniques. And also, in order to maintain the service in production, we need to have a systematic report of the logs and the possibility to resume the execution in case of failure. So to respect all of this, Workflow Manager is the logical solution, and we decided to capitalize on Nextflow and NF-Core initiative to design the following guidelines. So even if Nextflow is a very powerful tool, there is actually different ways to deploy a pipeline with this Workflow Manager. Therefore, we define some additional guidelines to harmonize the practices in the platform along the development lifecycle from the prototyping to the deployment. So the set of practices has been designed with the idea to address different expert communities. First, it should address the bioinformaticians and statisticians who will prototype the pipeline with state-of-the-art methods. Then there is the software engineers who are in charge of the optimization, the scalability and reproducibility of the pipeline. And finally, the data manager and core facility engineers, who will deploy and operate the pipeline in daily production for the end users. So the guidelines were also motivated by several conditions, which should be as less as invasive on the different expert communities. It should reduce the overall development cycle from the prototyping to the deployment. And also it should ensure the portability at every stage of the development with containers like Docker or Singularity, and automate as much as possible the building of those containers from the source code of the pipeline. So to solve those issues, we provided a tool called Geniac for automatic configuration generator and installer for Nextflow pipeline. Those guidelines and utilities were initiated in the context of the YouCanCon project by Philippe Huppé and Julien Roméjon, and it combines a set of CMake scripts where, according to the availability of the tools and the source code of the Nextflow project, several configuration execution profiles and recipes, and also the building of those images are done automatically in order to deploy the pipeline. And this toolbox comes with a complete documentation and a step-by-step guidelines using a set of questions regarding the software availability. And in those guidelines, we choose a specific strategy for the portability, which is the one container per tool strategy instead of the single deployment to support the deployment. So in this procedure, we define as many containers as, and in terms of Nextflow, this strategy is translated at two different levels. And there is the configuration file where a label is associated, and the workflow steps are processed in Nextflow where we want to use the tool. And to enable the utilities, expect some files and folders to be present, like the main configuration file for Geniac in the conf folder, and also the Geniac utilities in the Geniac subfolder of the Nextflow project. And several folders like the bin, env, and modules are actually optional, and it mostly depends on the availability of the tools in the workflow. So as it has been stated in the guidelines, the developer needs to follow several steps each time there is a new process. Here we show a basic example with a tool available in Conda channel, which is in the most common case for a bioinformatic tool. And in this situation, the developer has to add the Conda recipe associated with a specific label in the configuration file, like the FastQC tool. Then, in order to use the label directive and this label in every process of the main Nextflow script, we want to use this tool. And aside the main toolbox, like what it has been done in the NFCore community with the linter, a command line interface is also provided to check the code and ensure that the pipeline is compliant with the following guidelines. So it's a standalone Python package which can be installed with the pip tool utility. And it will basically mostly analyze the files of the Nextflow project, check the label consistency check the consistency between the project and the configuration. And in this small movie, we show the usual output we expect to see during the manual deployment of the pipeline. So in this example, we define 3 types of folder which are usually not located in the same place. The source folder where we clone the demonstration Nextflow project, the build folder to test the build command, and finally the installation folder where the pipeline will be deployed. So the main command here is the CMake command where we will give the different flag to generate the or not singularity or Docker image with also the path to the Geniac subfolder inside the Nextflow project and the path where we want to install the pipeline. So normally in this movie, the CMake command will be shown after this step. And after this, we only have to launch the make command to generate all the configuration files and container recipes and install them in the dedicated installation folder with the make install command. Okay. And as in the source directory, the installation directory follows a normalized structure with generated configuration files related to execution environment and deploy tools separated from the pipeline source code. And the deploy pipeline comes with several execution profiles, like like the NFCore pipelines, and they can be launched with the profile arguments on the command line. The most common one is during the prototyping phase will be the multi-conda profile, which will create one conda environment for each tool specified in the configuration file. And other profile, as the one shown here with the singularity, will also be available and correspond normally to the normal usage in a production environment. So in conclusion, BioGitFlow and Geniac can actually be used in the context of research development and production analysis to deliver bioinformatics pipelines as fast as possible. And you can find here the link to the BioGitFlow, Geniac, and all the utilities And in the near future, we plan to, with this project, to support other container engines, automatically several continuous integration rules in Travis or GitLab. And with this, I would like to thank again all the organizers and all the members of the bioinformatics platform of the CSQRI and the partners, and especially Inca and UConn for funding those projects. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you a lot to both of you. So there is 2 questions in the panel. So how many coworkers should ideally be working on a project to apply the procedure you are describing? And I have exactly the same question.
I don't know if you want to answer, but for me, it can be at least 3 members: the bioinformatician, the software engineer, and then the data manager. Since
Yes. In our project, we have a referent for each step. We have the referent of the pipeline, the analysis bioinformatician, engineer for the part of optimization for the pipeline, and the data manager for the production management.
And in the case of your team, how many people are working using this procedure? Or in the context of the project, maybe not only your team, but in the context of the whole project.
There's several projects like that, so
we have 3 members mainly working on the pipeline we deploy and we use in the routine of production. In the bioinformatic analysis team. In the Fabrice team, we have three actually. 3 members, and in the data manager team, we are 2, me and another person.
Okay, thanks. So there is 2 other questions, but since we are running behind time, so maybe I will select one, the first one by Pierre, and maybe you can answer to the other one within the Q&A panel. So do you accept container as standard way to install tools such as using biocontainer singularity images?
Yes, in most of the case we can use containers in several cloud registry. It's okay. This whole process was done because we have several tools who are not necessarily shareable, and there is some and depends of some scripts. So it needs to be packaged with another container. So we start from those bio containers and add our tools inside.
Okay. So sorry, Thomas, but maybe Fabrice and Shumus could answer to your question directly on the chat. Maybe it's possible for you to stop sharing your screen, Fabrice and Shumus? Okay, great. So